Eli woke early that morning, the sun barely peeking over the golden fields of wheat. The soft rustle of leaves and the distant crowing of a rooster were the only sounds that filled the quiet farm. Life had always been simple for Eli. He tended. His crops fixed the fences and occasionally sold extra produce in the nearby village. There were no surprises in his life, or so he thought. He sipped from a cup of steaming coffee and glanced at the small board in front of his farmhouse. It was where he kept notices for workers or travelers passing through. A few days ago, Eli had posted a simple job ad. Help wanted on a farm. Will provide food and shelter. Honest work for honest people. Eli expected maybe a couple of humans, likely young men or women from the village, looking to earn some extra money. He never imagined that what he would get instead would be 5 aliens, all widows, standing on his dusty pathway in the early morning sun, staring at him with pleading eyes. Eli blinked once, then twice. Hello? He said slowly, unsure if he was dreaming. The first alien stepped forward. She was tall, with pale silver-blue skin that shimmered slightly in the sunlight. Her eyes were large and round, almost like a child's, filled with sadness and exhaustion. "Please," she said in a soft voice that somehow Eli could understand perfectly. "We need shelter. We have nowhere else to go." Eli rubbed his eyes. "Shelter? You mean your people? From where?" He gestured vaguely to the sky. The second alien moved forward. This one was shorter, with a thin, elongated body and tiny, delicate wings folded against her back. "Our planets are gone," she said quietly. "Destroyed in the war. We are widows. We have nowhere to go." Eli's mind spun. He had read about space travel in books and seen it on holovids, but he had never expected aliens to show up on his little farm. "Widows, aliens, all of you?" he asked slowly, looking at the 3 others who were standing silently behind the first. 2 they nodded. One had bright orange skin and small glowing patterns along her arms. Another had deep green skin with tiny horns curling over her head. The last had skin like polished stone, gray and smooth, with eyes that glowed faintly in the morning light. Each looked tired, hungry and wary. Eli swallowed. Okay, he said. "I don't really know what to do, but come inside, I guess." The aliens hesitated. Then, as if sensing the sincerity in his voice, they stepped forward, keeping their movements cautious and careful. The first one, the silver blue, gave a small bow of gratitude. "Thank you. We do not wish to trouble you." Eli led them into his small farmhouse, which was cramped but tidy. He pointed to chairs at the wooden table. "Sit. I'll, see what I can do about food." The aliens sat gracefully, each in her own way. Some of them seemed almost delicate, but Eli noticed small hints of strength in their bodies. He poured water into cups and brought bread and fruit from his kitchen. They ate slowly, carefully, as if unfamiliar with human food but too hungry to refuse. Eli watched them, trying to hide his curiosity. "So, you're all, from different planets?" he asked, trying to make sense of it all. The silver blue one nodded. "Yes. Each of us came from a different world. The war took everything. Family, homes, our lives as we knew them. Now we only have each other." Eli's heart sank. He had grown up hearing stories about the wars between planets, the destruction, the refugees, but he had never imagined it would come to his doorstep. He felt a tug of responsibility he could not ignore. "Well, you're safe here, for now," he said. "I don't have much, but you can stay." The aliens looked at one another, relief softening their expressions. The winged one whispered, "Thank you, human. You are kind." Eli smiled awkwardly. "Kind? Me? I just don't like seeing people suffer, I guess." The silver-blue alien tilted her head. "You are stronger than you know. Humans have a strange courage. It is rare in the galaxy." Eli chuckled nervously. unsure how to respond. He led them to spare rooms he had barely used in years. The house was small, but he could manage some comfort for them. As they settled, he began to notice small, fascinating details. The orange-skinned one's glowing patterns pulsed faintly as she moved. The winged one's wings twitched slightly when she rested. The stone-skinned one's eyes seemed to glow in the dark, lighting up the corners of the room. And all of them had expressions of grief, yet also a spark of hope that made Eli uneasy and intrigued at the same time. After a quiet meal, Eli stepped outside to check the fields. The wheat swayed gently in the breeze, golden and ripe. He tried to push aside the strangeness of the morning and focus on the work ahead. But the thought of 5 alien widows staying on his farm weighed heavily on him. He heard a soft sound behind him. Turning, he saw the silver-blue alien watching him. "Human," she said, "we do not wish to be a burden. We can help with your farm if you will allow it." Eli raised an eyebrow. "Help? How?" She smiled faintly. "We each have skills, different from yours. We can make your fields grow stronger, help your animals, even repair what is broken quickly. We wish only to repay your kindness." Eli hesitated. He had never farmed with anyone before besides himself. All right. You can help. Just don't break anything, okay?" They nodded politely. "We will try," the winged one said. The rest of the day passed slowly. Eli worked alongside them in small ways, showing them how to carry baskets, feed animals, and tend to the wheat. He noticed how fast they learned, how carefully they moved, and how much they seemed to understand, almost instinctively, about the farm's rhythms. As the sun dipped low, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, Eli sat on the porch, exhausted but thoughtful. He had expected a quiet life, routine, and simplicity. Instead, he had 5 aliens in his home, all strangers, all relying on him. And somehow, he felt a strange pride in what he was doing, helping those who needed it, even if it meant stepping far beyond the small world he knew. The silver-blue alien appeared beside him, silent at first. Then she said softly, "Human, you have given us hope today. That is rare in the galaxy." Eli chuckled again, this time with less nervousness. "Hope, huh? I don't know about that. I don't like to see people suffer." She nodded, understanding. "It is more than kindness. It is courage. Humans have it in ways the galaxy cannot always measure." Eli leaned back, staring at the stars beginning to appear in the darkening sky. He thought about the days ahead, the work, the strange new household, and the unknown dangers beyond his fields. And somewhere deep inside, he felt ready. The day had brought unexpected visitors, grief-stricken and desperate. But for the first time in a long while, Eli felt the stirrings of something new: adventure, challenge, and a chance to show what humans could do, even when the odds were unknown. As night fell, the 5 aliens slept in the small rooms Eli had prepared. The farm was quiet, peaceful, but charged with potential. Tomorrow would bring work, learning, and new discoveries. And Eli, the simple human farmer, realized that his life had changed forever. For the first time, he understood that sometimes helping others, no matter how strange or unexpected, could reveal strengths he never knew he had. And somehow, deep in the quiet night, he felt certain that humans and aliens together might just accomplish things neither could alone. The next morning, the sun rose over Eli's farm in golden streaks. The air was crisp, filled with the smell of freshly tilled soil and blooming flowers. Eli stretched, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. Yesterday had been strange, almost unbelievable. 5 aliens, widows from destroyed planets, had appeared at his doorstep. And now, they were staying in his house, quiet but attentive, watching him with curiosity and cautious hope. Eli poured himself a cup of coffee, trying to think clearly. He had never dealt with aliens before, much less 5 of them at once. But he also felt a strange sense of responsibility. They were lost, alone, and somehow looking to him for guidance. "Good morning," Eli said, Stepping into the kitchen, the aliens were already awake. The silver-blue one stood by the window, her large eyes reflecting the morning light. "Good morning, human," she said softly. "We wish to assist you today." Eli blinked. "Assist? Right. Okay. Well, I guess we start with the farm. We need to feed the animals and check the fields." The winged one tilted her head. "Feed the animals? That is interesting. We have experience with creatures of many forms, but yours are different." Eli led them to the barn, where cows lowed and chickens pecked at the ground. The aliens watched silently at first. Then slowly they began to move. The orange-skinned alien approached the cows, her glowing patterns pulsing as she extended her hands. The cows seemed calm under her touch, almost as if they recognized her gentle presence. Eli rubbed his neck. "Well, that's new." "Do not worry," she said calmly. "We mean no harm. We only wish to help." The green-skinned alien approached the chickens, her horns glinting in the sunlight. She seemed to understand their behavior instinctively, moving in a way that guided them gently to their feeding area. Even Eli noticed the birds were calmer than usual. You're really good at this," he said, trying not to sound too surprised. The stone-skinned one bent near the barn's door, her glowing eyes scanning the ground. "The soil here is healthy," she said, "but there are small issues with drainage near the west corner. We can help with that." Eli was amazed. He had spent years checking every corner of the farm, yet these aliens noticed problems he had missed. And yet, they were careful, respectful. They did not act like they owned the place. They acted. The morning sun broke over the horizon, casting long shadows across Eli's wheat fields. He yawned and stretched, feeling the ache in his muscles from yesterday's long day. The farm had never been so busy, but Eli's fatigue was mixed with excitement. Something unusual was happening here, something that he could hardly explain. He stepped outside to find the 5 alien widows already moving around the farm. Each of them had adapted quickly to their surroundings. The winged one fluttered over the fences, inspecting their condition. The silver-blue one knelt in the soil, her hands hovering over the crops as if listening to the plants. The orange-skinned one carried a basket of harvested vegetables. The green-skinned one checked the water supply, and the stone-skinned one's glowing eyes scanned the field for pests. Eli rubbed his neck. "All right, let's see what today brings." He began his usual rounds, feeding the animals and checking on the crops. But he noticed something astonishing. The wheat in the far field, which had been struggling to grow evenly, looked healthier. Taller stalks swayed in the breeze, their golden heads heavy with grain. It seemed almost unnatural. The silver-blue alien approached him, a small smile on her face. "Your wheat is responding well to care and attention," she said softly, "and to a little guidance from us." Eli blinked. "Guidance? You mean you helped it grow?" She nodded. "Just enough to encourage natural growth. Nothing forced. We do not take, only assist." He shook his head in disbelief. "Well, that's incredible. I've never seen wheat grow like this." The orange-skinned alien joined him. "And the vegetables, human, they thrive under proper attention. Our methods are different, but the results are real." She placed a basket of fresh carrots on the ground, the roots thick and vibrant. Eli smiled, feeling a surge of pride. His farm, which had been ordinary for so many years, was transforming. Not because of him alone, but because of this strange, unexpected household of aliens who had appeared at his doorstep. By midday, Eli realized just how much their skills could change the farm. The winged alien moved swiftly, fixing fences in minutes that used to take hours. The green-skinned alien monitored water levels with precision, ensuring each field received the exact amount needed. Even the stone-skinned alien's scanning ability revealed hidden weaknesses in the soil, allowing Eli to prevent pests from damaging the crops before they became a problem. Eli worked alongside them, guiding them where necessary, but also learning from their techniques. He marveled at the way they approached tasks, careful, deliberate, and surprisingly creative. Each alien had a strength he had never seen before, and when combined with his own knowledge, the farm seemed almost unstoppable. Around noon, Eli paused to eat with them under the shade of a large oak tree. "You know," he said, "I never imagined my little farm could be this productive." The silver-blue alien tilted her head. "Your farm always had potential. We only help reveal it." Eli laughed softly. "Well, I'll take credit for discovering you then." The winged alien's wings fluttered lightly. "And your courage in allowing us here is part of the success. Many humans would have refused. Fear would guide them instead of reason." Eli frowned thoughtfully. "Fear, yeah, I guess humans are good at both fear and stubbornness." He chuckled. "I just wanted to help. I didn't know it would turn into this." By mid-afternoon, the first signs of outsiders' curiosity appeared. A small group of villagers approached, watching from a distance as the farm seemed different. The wheat shimmered more vibrantly, the animals seemed calmer, and the air was filled with a sense of energy that the farm had never had before. One villager, an older man named Joran, called out, "Eli, what's happening here? The farm, it looks better than ever." Eli waved. "Just some help. Nothing to worry about." He noticed the villagers' curious expressions. Some looked impressed, others suspicious. "Come see tomorrow if you want," he said, smiling. "We're just getting started." But he knew it wouldn't be so simple. News traveled fast in the village. Humans were naturally curious, and sometimes jealous. The farm's sudden improvement would draw attention, maybe more than he wanted. That evening, Eli and the alien sat outside after another long day. The farm was quieter now, the sun dipping below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of purple and gold. "You are doing well, human," the silver-blue alien said softly. "The others and I are learning from you too. Your understanding of the land, your patience, these are remarkable." Eli shook his head. "I'm just used to it, I guess. I've spent my life with this land. I know what works and what doesn't." The orange-skinned alien smiled. "And yet you are open to new methods. That is rare. Many humans would reject unfamiliar ways, even if they were better." Eli thought about it. "Yeah, maybe. I guess I like learning. And I like seeing things grow. Maybe that's what keeps me going." The winged alien's wings twitched slightly. "You have courage too. Not just for the farm, but for welcoming us. Many humans would have feared our differences and turned us away." Eli laughed softly. "Well, guess I'm stubborn that way." He realized she was right. The farm was changing not just because of the aliens' abilities, but because he had chosen to trust them. The stone-skinned alien's eyes glowed faintly as she scanned the horizon. "The fields will continue to prosper, human, but there may be others who notice us soon. Not all will be kind." Eli frowned. "Others? You mean trouble?" She nodded. "Possibly. You have hidden potential here, and others may seek to exploit or challenge it. You must be prepared." Eli's jaw tightened. He had faced challenges before, droughts, pests, equipment failure, but he had never faced anything like this. "All right," he said firmly. "We'll handle whatever comes. Together." The aliens nodded in agreement. There was a quiet sense of unity in that moment, a feeling that whatever lay ahead, they would face it as one. Later, as night fell, Eli walked through the fields alone. The moonlight reflected off the wheat, casting silver patterns across the ground. He thought about how life had changed in just 2 days. 5 aliens, widows from faraway worlds, had arrived at his farm seeking shelter. And now, they had become part of it, teaching him new ways to farm, improving productivity, and showing him skills he had never imagined. Eli realized something important. This was more than just a farm. This was a small experiment in cooperation, understanding, and growth. Humans were strong, yes, but humans alone could only do so much. With the right allies, whether alien or human, anything was possible. He returned to the farmhouse as the aliens finished preparing a simple dinner. They shared stories of their worlds, their losses, and their experiences. Eli listened, fascinated, and occasionally laughed at their peculiar ways of thinking. Though their pasts were filled with sorrow, their presence now was a gift, each bringing knowledge, strength, and a new perspective. As they finished the meal, Eli sat back watching the night sky fill with stars. He thought about the days to come. There would be work, of course, but also learning, challenges, and maybe even danger. Yet he felt ready. For the first time, he felt that his little farm was part of something bigger, something extraordinary. Tomorrow, Eli said softly to himself, we keep working, we keep learning, and maybe we show the world what humans and aliens can do together. The aliens had changed his farm, yes, but they had also changed him. He understood now that strength came in many forms, and courage often meant opening one's life to the unknown. And for the first time, Eli felt that he was no longer just a simple farmer. He was a guide, a friend, and a partner in something larger than himself. Tomorrow the fields would grow, tomorrow the animals would thrive, and tomorrow humans and aliens would continue learning from each other step by step, skill by skill, strength by strength. Eli went to sleep that night with a sense of wonder and purpose. He had no idea what the future held, but he was certain of one thing. With these 5 widows at his side, life on his farm would never be ordinary again. And somewhere in the quiet night, as the stars twinkled overhead, Eli knew that this was only the beginning of something remarkable. The morning sun spilled across Eli's farm, but the warmth of the day could not erase the uneasy feeling in his chest. Yesterday had been productive, almost magical. The aliens had worked side by side with him, improving the crops and helping the animals in ways he could never have imagined. Yet, deep in his mind, a small warning whispered that their peaceful days might not last forever. Eli moved through the wheat fields, checking the growth. The plants swayed in the breeze, tall and strong, shining like gold in the sunlight. He smiled, proud of the work they had done together. But then, he noticed something unusual, a faint shimmer at the edge of the fields far in the distance. He squinted. "What is that?" he muttered to himself. The winged alien hovering beside him tilted her head. "It is a presence. We feel it. It is not nearby, but it approaches." Eli's stomach tightened. "Presence? What do you mean? Like danger?" The stone-skinned alien's glowing eyes scanned the horizon. "Yes, something from beyond this world. It is observing, waiting. You must be careful, human." Eli took a deep breath. He had never faced anything like this. He was a farmer. His life had been simple: sow the fields, feed the animals, and sell produce. But now, his home was no longer just a farm. It had become a refuge for aliens, and apparently someone or something had noticed. By afternoon, the sense of unease had grown. A small scout ship appeared. The sun rose over Eli's farm, casting long shadows across the wheat fields. The bounty hunters' retreat yesterday had brought temporary relief, but Eli knew they, or others, might return. The air felt heavier than usual, carrying a quiet tension. The 5 alien widows were already awake, preparing for the day, moving with a purpose Eli had never seen before. "Good morning, human," the silver-blue alien said softly, her eyes bright in the morning light. "We must prepare for what may come. The galaxy does not forgive weakness." Eli nodded, his jaw set. "I know. We'll be ready. Together." The aliens began organizing the farm like a small fortress. The winged alien checked the fences and gates, strengthening weak points. The stone-skinned one surveyed the fields, placing traps and hidden signals that would alert them to any intruder. The orange-skinned alien gathered supplies, while the green-skinned one analyzed the water systems to ensure no field would be without hydration. The silver-blue alien moved through the crops, using her abilities to reinforce the wheat and vegetables. Eli watched them, feeling a mix of awe and determination. Their skills were incredible, but he knew humans had strengths the aliens could never understand. Creativity, improvisation, and courage under pressure, These were human traits, and today they would matter more than ever. By late morning, the scout ships returned. This time they brought more than just a small team. They had reinforcements, and their intent was clear. They wanted the aliens and were willing to take the farm by force if necessary. Eli took a deep breath. All right, everyone, let's show them what humans can do. The battle began quietly. Eli used his knowledge of the terrain to direct the bounty hunters into the traps the aliens had prepared. He led one group through a series of narrow paths where the wheat was thick, slowing their movements. The winged alien swooped down, using her speed to knock weapons aside and confuse the attackers. The silver-blue alien focused on strengthening the crops and the ground itself. Plants grew thicker under her guidance, creating natural barriers that blocked the hunter's line of sight. The stone-skinned alien's hidden pits and glowing eyes created more obstacles, slowing the enemy and giving Eli and the others an advantage. The orange-skinned alien worked tirelessly, moving between the hunters and the fields, using her abilities to reinforce fences and protect the animals. The green-skinned alien monitored every water source, ensuring no part of the farm could be damaged by the invaders. Eli realized something important. While the aliens were powerful, their skills alone could not have stopped the bounty hunters. It was the combination of human ingenuity and alien abilities that made their defense nearly unbeatable. When a hunter tried to sneak around the eastern field, Eli spotted him first. "Over here," he shouted, luring the hunter into a thick patch of wheat reinforced by the silver-blue alien. The hunter stumbled, and the winged alien pushed him away from the others, keeping him out of the main fight. Another hunter aimed a weapon at the stone-skinned alien, but Eli acted quickly. He used a farming tool, a long wooden pole, to knock the weapon aside, giving the alien time to counter with her abilities. The hunter faltered, surprised by the human's unexpected intervention. The villagers, who had been watching from a distance, began to understand what was happening. Their earlier doubts about the aliens had vanished. Humans and aliens were fighting together using strategy, skill, and courage. Some villagers even rushed to help, bringing tools and supplies to support the defense. By midday, the bounty hunters realized they had underestimated the farm. Their numbers and technology gave them confidence, but the combination of human tactics and alien abilities was far beyond what they expected. Each attempt to advance was met with a new obstacle, a clever trap, or an unexpected counterattack. Eli moved through the battlefield with surprising skill. He directed humans to reinforce weak points, guided aliens to focus their efforts where most needed, and improvised strategies on the fly. He felt alive in a way he never had on ordinary days. Every decision mattered, and every action counted. The silver-blue alien moved beside him. "Human, your leadership is remarkable. You inspire courage in ways we cannot. That is truly human strength." Eli smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. "Well, guess I've learned from you too. We make a good team." By late afternoon, the tide of the battle had turned completely. The bounty hunters were disoriented, their movements slowed by the traps, the thickened crops, and the clever strategies Eli had devised. The aliens moved with precision, each action coordinated, each step calculated. Together they were unstoppable. Finally, the lead hunter, realizing defeat was inevitable, raised his hands. We underestimated you," he said, voice shaking. "This farm, these humans, these aliens, we surrender." Eli lowered his makeshift weapon, breathing heavily. "Surrender? Good. Leave and never return." The hunter nodded and signaled the retreat. Their ships lifted off, moving back into the sky, disappearing into the distance. The farm was safe. Eli turned to the aliens, a broad smile on his face. "We did it. We actually did it." The silver-blue alien's eyes glowed faintly. "Yes, human. Together we proved that humans are clever, courageous, and strong. Even when faced with superior technology, your determination makes all the difference." The winged alien flapped her wings lightly. "And we too learned from you. Your creativity, your quick thinking. These are things we have not experienced in the galaxy before. Eli felt a swell of pride. This had been more than a victory. It was proof. Proof that humans, though seemingly ordinary, could rise to challenges and overcome what others thought impossible. The orange-skinned alien smiled. And now we are safe, for now. But the galaxy is vast. Others may come. And, when they do, we will face them as one. Eli nodded. Then we keep training, we keep learning. No one will catch us off guard again. That evening, the farm was quiet once more. The wheat field swayed gently in the wind. The animals moved freely, and the sun set in a blaze of orange and red. Eli sat with the aliens under the large oak tree, sharing a simple meal. You know, Eli said, breaking the silence, I never imagined my farm would turn into this. Fighting bounty hunters, defending aliens. Sometimes I feel like I'm in one of those galactic adventure stories. The silver-blue alien tilted her head. And yet, human, you are more extraordinary than any story. Courage is not born from fiction. It is born in actions. You acted when others might have fled. That is why we survive. Eli laughed softly. Well, guess I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone hurt you, or this farm. The green-skinned alien nodded. And your choices, combined with our abilities, have made a difference. Together, we are stronger than we are apart. Eli looked at each of them, feeling a deep connection. These widows, who had arrived at his door seeking shelter, had become something more. They were allies, teachers, and friends. And in turn, he had become their protector, their strategist, and their partner. As night fell, Eli walked through the fields alone. The stars were brilliant, sparkling like diamonds against the dark sky. He thought about the day, the danger, the strategy, the teamwork. He realized something important. Strength was not just in power or technology. Strength was in courage, creativity, and the willingness to act when needed. Humans might seem ordinary to the galaxy, quiet and small, but today had proven that humans, when they acted with heart and mind, could challenge even the most powerful forces. And with allies, whether human or alien, they could achieve incredible things. Eli returned to the farmhouse, tired but fulfilled. The aliens were resting, their unusual abilities glowing faintly in the moonlight. For the first time in his life, he felt that his farm was more than just a place to grow crops. It was a place of courage, learning, and proof that humans could rise above expectation. Tomorrow the farm would continue to thrive. There would be more work, more learning, and perhaps more challenges. But Eli was ready. He had 5 aliens by his side, and together they had proven that humans were not weak, not ordinary, and not to be underestimated. And somewhere deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning. The farm was quiet in the early morning, but a sense of energy filled the air. After the battle with the bounty hunters, Eli and the alien widows had worked tirelessly to repair damage and improve the defenses of the farm. Yet even as he worked, Eli felt something different. There was peace now, a sense that the farm had transformed into more than just land for crops. It had become a home, a sanctuary, and a symbol of cooperation. Eli stepped outside, the crisp morning air filling his lungs. The winged alien was already tending to the fences, checking them for any weakness. The stone-skinned alien moved through the soil, ensuring that the ground was stable and fertile. The silver-blue one hovered over the crops, her hands gently, brushing the tops of wheat and vegetables, as if speaking silently to each plant. The green-skinned alien monitored the water supply, adjusting levels for maximum growth, while the orange-skinned alien carried baskets of fresh produce from the garden to the farmhouse. Eli smiled. Morning, everyone. Ready for another productive day? The aliens nodded in unison, their faces reflecting determination and calm. We are ready, the silver-blue alien said. The farm is secure, but vigilance is necessary. Others may come seeking us or our skills. Eli sighed. I know, but today let's focus on growth. We've defended the farm, now we may.